Well, we're about to pick up some time on this program. I think Bryan Danielson is one of the best in-ring wrestlers in the world. He was a tremendous world champion caliber heel about 6 months ago for about 3 weeks. He can work his ass off. He's got a great promo when he's motivated. But he's not Merlin the magician. 30 minutes of Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia, 2 out of 3 falls on national cable television. Can you imagine if they gave that spot to a Ricky Starks? Can you imagine if they gave that spot to anybody with any fucking potential whatsoever in the next 3 to 5 years to sell a fucking ticket? Somebody with personality, somebody with goddamn oomph to them, somebody that doesn't look like another interchangeable white boy on an indie show doing wrestling holds. This lost him over 100,000 viewers.
I was going to ask you if you saw the quarter-hour ratings.
Somebody did send me, a little bird sent me the information. And they started out with 1,104,000 viewers for Punk and Moxley. And they actually only dropped, after that was over with, for Bryan and Garcia, they only dropped less than 100,000, about 90,000 to see Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia. But by the time that the people realized that this thing was going for half an hour, the second quarter of that match dropped over another 100,000. And the only thing that brought them back was the next segment when we saw Mox and Punk again. They got the 100,000 back. But I'm sure, I didn't watch this, obviously, and Brian, you may tell me you had the patience, but I knew what it was going to be. It was going to be a fine wrestling match with Bryan Danielson doing everything he could to make Daniel Garcia competitive and make him look like he can wrestle. And I'm sure he did a fine job of that. But he was also working competitively 2 out of 3 falls for half an hour with a guy that, honest to God, folks, he didn't steal my dog. He hasn't shit on my front porch. I'm just telling you, he's been overpushed and underfleshed out. They started using him from the start on every television show because somebody likes him, I guess, personally. He's got no charisma. He's got no gimmick. He's got no personality. He's got no promo. In 5 years, he might grow up enough to have one, but right now, zilch. And so what you're doing is you're pouring good talent in Bryan Danielson or anybody else that tries to bring Daniel Garcia up to their level right now. You're pouring all that talent down a well and you're not getting anything back. Because I don't care how good his fucking matches are. It's the same thing as Yuta. Without a look and personality and charisma and some promo and some psychology and a concerted push, not just a goddamn 100-mile-an-hour, we're going to let him beat everybody in 3 weeks, but a long-term, steady, continual climb with certain stumbling blocks along the way. Daniel Garcia is going to be selling the same amount of tickets this time next year as he is this year, which is none. So 30 minutes on national TV with one of the best wrestlers in the world winning 2 out of 3 by the skin of his teeth against an unknown indie guy who in his current incarnation is as exciting as a traffic fucking cop. You know, why did they pick the people they picked to do the things they do with them? And then there's people that they get handed. Let Wardlow go out there and powerbomb Bryan Danielson in 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, and that'll get a motherfucker over. Send Daniel Garcia out for 30 minutes against Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson wins. That loses 100,000 viewers. What'd you think?
You please the fans who want the work rate or whatever you want to call it, but you ignore the bigger picture. I agree with your overall thought that down the road, there may be something there with Yuta and Garcia. Right now, both look really young and both look really skinny. Yuta has the Moxley problem where his elbows, and when he tries to lay him in, he doesn't lay him in at all. But, kind of makes me think of the Triple H discussion earlier. It makes me think of the Eric Watts push. The big difference is they have fans there who will accept what they're trying to do. So they are cheering Yuta. Let's say they cheer Garcia and he's done the worst promos ever, but they'll watch Garcia and try to get into his work rate. But I think to the bigger picture, these guys are being stuffed down people's throats on TV, and I don't think it's what people want right now. Maybe down the road, maybe when they fill out a little bit, maybe, like you said, develop them a little bit. We saw Daniel Garcia just popped up on TV, and then he was in six-man matches with 2.0, and then they were part of the Jericho thing, and now all of a sudden he's beating Bryan Danielson. And then Yuta just showed up on TV. Moxley and them decided they wanted to do something with him, so they just did it without thinking if it's the time or the place or the right way to do it.
Or the person.
And now we're stuck with these guys. Meanwhile, we're celebrating Powerhouse Hobbs getting to speak. You know what I mean? Like when you say there are other guys out there, Ricky Starks, I don't like that they turned him babyface, but now I just want to see him used well. There are guys there.
He wasn't even there.
Well, I don't know about that. Apparently, from what I heard, there were a lot of people there who weren't used, which is a whole nother story. Apparently, there's a whole lot of people flying into these shows and staying at very cozy hotels.
Hey, at least Tony Khan, he bought Ring of Honor, and now they're really going to be happy because last time I was with Ring of Honor and we ran Charleston, West Virginia, we were allowed 6 plane tickets for the whole card, and they wanted everybody to double up at the Hampton Inn. Now Tony's an international goddamn travel agent flying people all over the world to come watch a show and stay at the fucking Helmsley Palace.
You bring up Ring of Honor, and this isn't meant as an insult, but Garcia and Yuta feel to me like classic Ring of Honor wrestlers.
Yeah.
Not guys you would see on national TV getting the push right out of the gate.
Young guys that you could bring along, because that's where Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole were at one point in Ring of Honor, and they were young, and we used them in the middle underneath where they could get some experience, and they grew up and came along. And then, of course, Adam shrank and went along. But Yuta nor Garcia would not be main event guys in Ring of Honor because of, again, not in my Ring of Honor at least, because personality and ability, the experience to go out and be a television fucking performer instead of just going out and doing indie style wrestling matches. That's not saying they'll never get it, but they ain't got it now. And what this is going to do is, besides the fact it's going to just make people sick and fed up with them because, goddamn, give me a break. Also, it's going to give them the impression that they are already main event guys and they don't need, like the other dipshit, Hangnail. He's already a main event guy. He doesn't need any work, doesn't need any help, doesn't need any advice. They keep pushing him like this and patting him and making over him, say, oh, yeah, you're doing great. Well, they are doing great with what they're being given. It's not their fault that the creative is fucking caca. But, I don't expect them to say, don't push me, I don't deserve it. But they shouldn't be pushed because right now they don't deserve it.
Hey, and on the topic of Danielson, I get that he's going to do what he wants to do. And we all have to remember that. But, and this is where, someone needs to talk to him about maybe stuff, or you do something else. I'm not going to rehash the blown opportunity with him. I'm just going to ask you the question. Does he mean as much today in AEW as he did a year ago when he came in?
Oh, good God, no. Because now he's there.
Because Punk still means a lot. Like, Punk didn't lose that. Like Moxley means as much today as he did when he came in. Danielson means less today.
Punk is not going to just allow himself to be put in a group with some of his friends so that his star power can be spread to them rather than the other way around. And Punk is not going to go out there and get juice for a fucking guy and go 30 minutes with a fucking guy that nobody could recognize if he walked down the fucking street tomorrow. And he's not, Danielson is too nice and is not cognizant enough of his status in the wrestling business and what he could do business-wise for this company if he wasn't so nice and trying to play with everybody equally. But that's just me. But we've lost 200,000 viewers after that match from the start of the show.